All right, y'all. Recording number 4. It messed up again. I can't. Okay, so anyway, welcome into our space. This is my 4th time making a video. I'm not kidding. They are hitting hard. Woo-wee. They are hitting hard and being unfair. They're digging into us and our psyche, in the back of our psyche and our subconscious, trying to implant shit and get us to believe shit that's not true about ourselves because of this belt cleaned them out. And so now they're scrambling this magic to try to replace with the belt cleaned out and the meteor shower cleaned out. And then we on the new moon, we got another meteor shower, and that's the final clean out. Baby, this is the time. Anything you want to let go, permanent let go. People, past people, the new person that didn't come in, everything you want to let go, job, whatever. Now, between now and that new moon, let it go. And you're going to find during this time, you are willing to let it go. Okay? But they are attacking like nobody's business right now. And it's flawed attacking. It's malicious to an extent to have their way. But bitch, and I'm not calling you that, I'm calling them that. You don't know who y'all fucking with. And that wasn't supposed to be this kind of talk. But see, I have a talk like this in my Transformational Tantra channel before. You don't know who you fucking with. See, Chosen Starseeds and Indigo Children, we've been here before. Number 1, number 2. We've been here before them. And a lot of us know our fucking job. And we're a threat to them. And you think because we're nice and compassionate, we're not warring. We're not warriors. Bitch, we're a love warrior. Do you know love is the strongest emotion and the strongest entity? You do understand that, right? It is not just a fucking emotion. It's the most powerful of everything because it's everything. It rules everything. And you really think that we're going to do its work and you're not going to fucking get it? Wait, better than that. You really think that we do its work and we're small? I didn't say better than you. I said small. Where in the fuck are we small? I'll wait. So I'm going to move that on from that right now. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Divine Celion. Welcome into our space. I am an ordained minister and I am a seer and healer and all that kind of stuff. But I work with love. Okay? Love itself. I am a messenger. I am a love warrior. And warrior true to the word, babe. So, in love, I will whoop your ass. And I don't have to touch you to whoop your ass. So, the talk was supposed to be about not lowering ourselves and making us lower. So that's perfect segue in. To stop minimizing who you are for other people. Stop. Because we're doing it for the wrong reason and there's no reason to. And we do it so people will get along with us and we'll have friends and people will like us. But my love, how much has that cost us over time? How much still didn't give a fuck and didn't like us anyway? You understand what I'm saying? No. So, rule number 1. No selfish martyrdom. No. You know what selfish martyrdom is. If you don't, I had a video before this, but the short end of it is you sacrifice yourself for no good reason. There's no point. So, 2, you don't lower yourself to save another. We're not supposed to save anybody. We're supposed to help, guide, and lead. We cannot save anyone because they must make the decision to save themselves, and they're the ones who does the action, so we cannot save them. It's their life. Now, likewise, you are not to waste your time on people that you give them advice and they don't fucking want it. and they don't want to hear it. Or you are talking to your breath is gone, and they still not picking up what you putting down. Baby, move on. We're not to do that, because now at that point you're a sacrificial lamb. No, we're not to do that. So, sorry, I had to snatch. I told you we talking. So another thing is 3. Break the sacrificial suffering loop. I'm sorry. It's hot. So, suffering is not love. Okay? People hate love because it looks like a sacrifice. It looks like you always have to sacrifice something. You always have to sacrifice things in life, period. Not just for love. For anything you want, there's a price. If you want to go to the movie, you got to sacrifice your time because you can't spend time with somebody else. Because you can't be at 2 places at once. Well, you can, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Anyway. You're always sacrificing something. Time, money, gifts. You're always sacrificing something. So, just because love looks that way, it is. You're giving of yourself. But you chose to. So why are you hating on love? Because for the choice you chose. You understand? That's why you can't be lukewarm. You can't love somebody partially. You either love them or you don't. I am not talking about the degree of change of love, and I am not talking about what type of love change. Okay? But you can't be lukewarm in love. That's why you're not allowed to be lukewarm, period. Either you love or you don't. Okay? Suffering is for lessons. But you're not to stay in suffering. You're not to glorify suffering. Then you make it an idol. No. Suffering is just something we go through to learn a lesson and move on. Number 4. Remember, if someone really loved you, they would not bring you chaos by coming to you broken. They would heal themselves first. Okay? Now, for the ones who have a no contact and planning and you don't even know, and then they come in surprising you, I'm not a fan of that, because you could at least communicate something. And see, and let me speak to this part. You're going to notice this too. How many of you have received mates who were broken on purpose? Lost a job right before they came to you. Got their children taken away before they came to you. Got injured in the hospital before they came to you. In some way, shape, or form, each person you got, you had to take care of or grow or foster. Baby! I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. I was going to say something crass, but I'm not going to say it. So, the only children I want to raise are the ones that come from my body. I'm going to say it like that. I don't raise a partner. If you building, that's good, boo-boo, but you could have said something. You could have communicated. Don't want you now. So, if they love you, they won't bring you their anger. They won't bring you their chaos. They won't bring you the destruction that's happening in their life. See, yes, for some of it, there are some people we are meant to help and walk with like that. Excuse me. But you will know if that's the case. You will know. Okay? But some people find others to ease their pain. That's why a lot of people with the karma is coming back to ease their pain. Hell no. Eye for an eye. I ain't easing shit. I walk through hell. You can walk through hell. That's why I don't feel bad. How much have we walked through our own hell to get to this point? To get to this point in time. While you have others who didn't. And then you want to come walk in. Can you teach me? Walk your hell, bitch. I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all. Look. If you can walk it with everything you've been through, not hearing it. And yes, I understand some people don't have the same constitution. I get that. I do. But the degree of hell for each person varies based on what you have to learn, what you came back to, you agreed to learn based on your contract, and a couple of other things. But some of us have gotten the grunt of it. That's not fair. You know who you are. You don't have to argue that. So, if they really loved you and understood what love was, they would know to heal themselves first before they walk in. There's a young man I know I absolutely love. Brilliant mind, beautiful soul. He had the wherewithal, he's young, 20, had the wherewithal to know, to tell someone I know, you know what? I'm healing myself. I'm not ready yet. I'm not going to hold you up like that. I want you to be happy too. So if we cross paths later, that'd be great. But I'm not going to hold you up, baby. When I heard that, thank you. I was like, I was like, how come middle-aged people can't do this? How come they don't have the restraint to say, I need to work on myself before I'm with somebody? And then go into abstinence and work on that self-love. I don't understand. Our young are kicking ass, and I absolutely love them for it. Let me tell you something, youth. Those of you that I would say 26, but even I'm going to extend it to 32. But those of you that are like 26 and younger, y'all awake. And babies, guess what? Y'all are going to be leading this next generation. Don't be afraid of them. If you look at these babies now and how they're treating these people, they're awake already. So they're ready to go, young folks, for you to lead them. Stop letting these society tell you what to be, young folks. You decide what to be. This is your trip to this plane. You understand me? You are brilliant. You have so many things going for you. So much more than we had. I'm sorry, this is an aside, but I got to say this because I work with youth and I'm so passionate about that, my loves. You don't have to go into debt to work a job that makes more than us. And you don't let them use you and be a workhorse. You be smarter than we were. You understand me? But young folks, you got this shit. You got it. I'm sorry we left you a mess, babies. But you got this shit and you're awake. And you're awake in the right way. And you are fighting the right way. Stand up. We'll stand with you. That's what's up. All right. So I'm sorry. As you see, you don't fucks with young people with me. I'm sorry. No, you don't. That's a mind that is forming and that is brilliant. You don't mess with that. And you see what they're doing to our children and our teens and our youth and our adolescents, especially our adolescents. Because they're still children and they want that love, but they know they got to be grown and carried. And if you knew how many adolescents really cared about their fucking parents, when a lot of their parents ain't shit. Breaks my fucking heart. They're carrying their families when their older ones need to be doing fucking more. Leave it alone, because every family situation is different. I'm just going on what I see on the daily. All right. Number 5. Let's get back. Get back to the love. Okay. There's a fine line between loving and being the loving sacrificial lamb. I was not making an L on purpose. I promise you. That was out of a false sense of humility. We do not. This follows the selfish mind of peace. You make yourself small to make people like you. And then they don't like you anyway. And then you're broken because they didn't like you. Where are you in the equation, my loves? Okay? You feel like you have to give so much to other people. Where's that giving for yourself? Why are you trying to give the utmost to everybody else. Why are you giving into the programming? I'm not saying don't love people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying don't help people. Not saying that at all. Okay? Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you don't be a pawn on purpose for people that don't appreciate you over and over again. You know these stories that are like on YouTube that are animated? How many times do we hear about someone sacrificing themselves? But especially ones that piss me off is someone that sacrifices themselves over and over and over and over, expecting a different reaction and a different response. And I'm like, for real? And what do we hear? The theme, if they'd only seen me, they would love me. If they'd only realize, if they were open enough to see what I can do for them. Does that sound familiar? Oh, I've been there. Oh my gosh, I've been there. I've been there. That's why we're special. Not better. Special. We think in a special way. We honor people in a special way. To me, it is my pleasure to serve not only people, but who I love. But see, that service is given in love and compassion. But that don't mean it's to be abused. And this is what happens in relationships, because people get used to it and expect it. And then we start labeling it with money. And that's love. Maybe. Depends on the intention of the gift or what was done. That's a maybe. But you do not use false humility and false righteousness. This is why them can't stand us. Because love exposes false humility, false righteousness that exists mainly in the religious part of life. Love exposes that, like my father did. So, they can't stand when we know, because they can't get over. You understand? I'm going to give you an example. Blacks have this thing, Southern blacks have this thing, where we got used to the abuse for the master. That translated into black families. And our aunties and grandmothers would make us stay with our mate, even though they were whooping our ass and abusing us. I know many of you can attest to this, no matter what gender, sex, whatever you are. Many of you can attest to this. And there's this, and forgive how this seems, but master must love me because he beat me. I must did something wrong. That was instilled in the people. But if you look at it, it wasn't just instilled in the slave. It was also instilled in the master, to keep the slave going that way. But keep the slave mentality in their own generational family too. It's seeped in both places. Follow me. So we learned love is staying even in abuse, no matter who it is. The women definitely learned that, and the men learned they'll stay regardless. I don't understand why people, and I'm speaking on the black part, I don't understand why people in the black community are so fucking surprised at how relationships are between us now. I don't understand that. Black women have been fighting for black men for I don't know how fucking long. But the mentality where we can treat them anyway and they're going to stay anyway because they only have us. Do you only have us? We are the most unloved being on the planet, black women. But that don't mean I move low or lower than that. I don't believe love is abuse. Because it's not. So I don't have that mindset. Okay? But I did this anyway. Meaning, I did this. I must suffer to show my love. Does that sound familiar? That's that programming. And they have programmed every feminine with that. And every male, it's okay, she'll stay. Don't worry about it, she'll stay. She'll be whatever you need. Sex pot and everything. She'll stay. Bitch. Sorry, I'm not the one to be controlled like that. Dude. So, never that. I'm sorry. Let me go back to it. So, that was never love. That was control. That was all that was for. Was control. Okay? Now, the relationships are transactional. What is my return on investment? And it has a dollar value. And to many of you, you think that dollar value is love. And you're wondering why you're breaking up. So I'm going to tell you this. Since you think that that dollar value is love, you're going to receive the love you're giving and receiving. Excuse me. And many of you are getting gifts that are highly expensive for your love, for your kitty cat. They paying for your pussy. PP. Paying for the pussy. Okay? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And there's many of us that pay for that PP. There's many of us that do that. Well, Divine, what do you mean? Because we will accept anything to keep them. So we pay for them. Clothes, food, training, electronics, games. We pay for it. See, don't blame me for love being translated into money. That was the society that did that shit. Okay? You see it all over the tarot cards. This whole bullshit is about money. So they fucked with your love. That's what they continue to do. That's why I'm here. To untangle you from that bullshit so you can see that love is very simple. And what we have to do is very simple. It's just they discombobulated you with their bullshit. That's all. So, 6, leading to churches and society groups for the advantageous advancement built love to be controlled. Okay? Because there is no greater power than love. But churches and societal groups and governments can't control love. That's the one thing these beings can't understand. Why we will sacrifice when it makes no logical sense. What else is at play in the human psyche? Or those that present as human. So, control to steal energy. To narrate what happens. Okay? To make a fool of the spirit realm. Because then they try to take the power from the spirit realm by creating the control in the plane, and that's what they've done. They've screwed up stuff so much by trying to duplicate like they're gods in this realm. So everyone is discombobulated and screwed up. Do you know why it's turning? Because everyone is discombobulated and screwed up and they don't know where to look. Where is the first place you're going to go innately? Because that's what you know. That's your baseline. And you're doing it naturally. You know what to do. It's in there. It's in there. They don't want you to remember so they can keep you controlled. When all else fails, look inward. Because you know that person. And you won't do anything to not trust that person after a while when you learn the game. Okay? So, there's something else I wanted to talk to you about, and it leads to this selfish martyrdom piece and sacrifice, but it's deeper than that. See, you telling on me already. So, do I want to talk about it now? I'm going to say this. I spoke before about the Never-Ending Story, my favorite book. If you are looking for a book to read, the Never-Ending Story. Never mind the movies, except for the first one. Get the book and read it. It is a cosmological map of how this shit works, if you understand it correctly. And the reason why I'm saying this is because they've really programmed us to be so afraid of who we are, to be so ashamed of the type of being we are, that we always have to look for something else higher when you are the highest, because you carry love, which is the highest. Well, compassion is the highest, but you understand. And it hurts me that so many people believe them for $1. That doesn't mean anything when you leave here and you are stuck with the consequences. We fight the way we fight, so we don't suffer them fucking consequences, because we know better. We know better. The first thing about the Never-Ending Story is the Orin. Now, I do not appreciate that symbol, but there's different cultures that have it. It's the snake biting the tail, right? Not in the Never-Ending Story. They changed it to be one snake biting the tail. It is not one snake biting the tail. If you're lucky enough to have the book that I have from a long time ago, there are two snakes interwoven in a design. One snake is black, one snake is white. Both equally needed to complete the puzzle. It is called the Orin. And the Orin is important because it is always where one begins, the other one ends. You cannot have one without the other. And it's depicted in a picture so beautiful to me. I love art. I'm sorry. That's why as my singing character, I call myself Audible Art. I'm proud of that. So anyway, I'm sorry. I love art. I'm an artsy person, so I can't help it. But anyway, creation is my love language, so one of them. It is so beautiful to understand and think of the wholeness of both. And when you get to this level, this state, you're going to start seeing the for and the against. Now, I cheat a little bit because I'm a Gemini. I can do that. But you're going to start to see the for argument and the against argument, the other side, and why it works as a rebuttal for your for. Naturally. That's why you don't judge the dark. You don't know what the dark is for. And dark does not mean evil. Evil just means to live, which you are. So, but to love is to evolve. Huh. Interesting, ain't it? So, the nothingness also represents the darker snake, as the princess represents the white snake. And it's a constant continuum of nothingness and creation. Nothingness and creation. And let me have you understand something about nothingness. Nothingness is not nothingness. Nothingness is a Buddhist concept. From that void, everything comes. Everything can be and cannot be. Anything is possible. So the one thing that as the nothingness was eating everything and left space and nothing but time. Not understanding it's needed to begin and create again. So it's not nothing in it. Everything exists in the dark. You just can't see it. So, the thing was, the Empress had to have a new name. Like when you turn over a new god, it requires a new name. Like Barbello, Inanna, Isis, kind of, if you will, Sophia. Just new names for the same fucking energy. Huh. Just like the never-ending story. Sorry. And that new name starts a new cycle. I found that interesting. And the gates, so there's 3 gates. But the last one is the gate of heaven, which I find interesting. Very interesting. Because you have to face yourself. And isn't that the number one thing humans have a hard time doing, is loving themselves? Don't you have people who made sure you wouldn't? But yet that is your true path into heaven, is loving yourself. To thine own self thou must know. To thine own self thou must be true. You must love thyself to know thyself. And when you know thyself, you know. It is hidden within you. That is why society and these groups pull you out of you and make you discordant, like our music and our frequencies. You understand? So, also, you had the bookshop owner. He represented the interstitial gatekeepers, guides from beyond. You had a luck dragon, that's unexpected help. But you had who was behind the nothing. I call it nothingness. It was a black wolf. Monk, I think is his name. He represented the demiurge. While the princess represented Sophia. And in this story, it's not Sophia who creates. It's all of humanity who creates. Now, think about that. We manifest, right? And manifestation is what? A creation. Well, look at that. Interesting. But he couldn't beat an innocent. He couldn't beat the protagonist. And there were 2. Because there were 2 different versions in time. His protagonist was a warrior. He wanted to be confident. But in real life, he was weak for a time. So, timeline sharing and witness. So when he got to that 3rd gate, that's who he saw. They saw each other. And he threw the book. He wasn't ready. And even a child knew, nope, I have to finish the mission. And he picked it up and he continued that mission to the end. And his reward was the child got to recreate that world as he saw fit, like a god. Yeah, they messed with the wrong ones. Huh? We all have the potential, or most, but few will follow through, even in the cult. I understand what it means to make yourself small and wanting people to love you, and you just cry because you can feel you're not wanted by anyone, and you don't know how you're gonna make it. You don't know. I understand that pain. And you try. You do. You try. You keep going because you have to. My loves. To those of you who are remembering you're not in this timeline, you're not from this timeline, you're from the 18th, 17th, 18th, 19th century instead. And you're bound here because of an artifact, a mirror, those special mirrors. And every time you come back, your enemy comes back because they cannot get to what you refuse to give them. So they keep killing you and making you come back, giving you reasons to come back, guilt one other time, unfinished business in this time. So you beg to keep being reborn. And every time you're reborn, they get a chance. When they've been controlling your whole fucking narrative until you could remember. Sorry, y'all. So, I remember. I know who my enemy was in this life. They stole whole fucking society. Everything. Technology, books, knowledge, electricity that was free. All of these things they stole. It was thriving without them. But to control it, they changed and lied about everything. Your books are lies. Your knowledge is half truths. But when you walk in love, you will get the full truth. And that is why they don't want you to have it. And that is why they try to kill us. I don't care how much they suppress my videos. The truth will be told. Love will make so. It's time. All right, my loves. I hope this helped. Don't ever lower yourself. The next time you do, I want you to ask this question. Does love ever lower itself? It may sacrifice, but it doesn't ever lower itself. It knows what it is. So stop fucking saying it doesn't know how powerful it is on both sides of that wheel. Oh, she knows. Trust me, she knows. All right, my loves. I love you. That's why I walk with you and share. It is so important we share our stories with each other. You don't know how many of us feel so just discombobulated and feel like we're crazy because of the stuff we done been through that you're not supposed to go through. Share your story safely and calmly and with love and compassion. Share your story. You don't know what it means to someone else that's walking through what you're walking through. Remember, you walk through your personal fucking hell and you know what that felt like. So if you can help ease pain of another and they're willing to take your advice, help another. Each one, teach one. That's what it's about. That is love. All right, my loves. If we all do that, this